Woman to pay 10 million shillings for refusing to marry. It's in today's Daily Monitor. A big headline. Court records show that Mr. Richard Tumwine and Miss Fortunate Charikunda started their love relationship in 2015 and later entered a promise to tie the knot in 2018. However, Charikunda did not meet her end of the bargain, triggering a court battle that has set her back by 10 million shillings. It's in today's Daily Monitor. The Daily Monitor brings you the Liberation Day celebrations. Will be fully in middle income in 3 years' time. That's according to President Museveni. He is seen here inspecting the parade mounted by the Joint Security Forces during the 37th NRM Liberation Day celebrations in Kakumiro district yesterday. Mr. Museveni has said Uganda needs 3 more years to be fully recognized as a middle-income country. Great plans he has for our nation. And also, questions linger over 16 trillion shillings oil refinery project. And brothers served 20 years in jail on wrongful conviction. East African community team to assess Somalia's readiness to join regional bloc. And man reunites with family after 66 years. There are job opportunities in today's Daily Monitor. At Uganet, Equity Bank, Aga Khan University are looking on PLE results. Fees defaulters won't receive results. And about the Liberation Day, 45 received medals. These include Dorcas Ajok, SSP David Wamnyerere, SP Richard Anyama, CP Dr. Martin Mugume, and many others in today's New Vision. A 93-kilometer key oil road commissioned. President Museveni is seen cutting the tape to commission the Buhimba Nareyo Bulamaji and Bulamaji Gayaza Kakumiro Road yesterday ahead of the Liberation Day speech in Kakumiro district. Present was First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports Janet Museveni, Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, Works Minister Edward Katumba Wamala, and other officials. There are many stories in today's papers. Get yourself a copy and you will surely get to know what's happening in our nation. We'll now go straight into our international news update. I'll now be joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. Archaeologists say they have found a gold leaf-covered mummy sealed inside a sarcophagus that had not been opened for 4,300 years. The mummy remains of a man named Hakeshepes and is thought to be one of the oldest and most complete non-royal corpses ever found in Egypt. It was discovered down a 15-meter shaft at a burial site south of Cairo, Saqqara, where 3 other tombs were found. One tomb belonged to a sacred keeper. The largest of the mummies that were unearthed at the ancient necropolis is said to belong to a man called Kumdejef, a priest, inspector, and supervisor of nobles. Another belonged to a man called Mary, who was a senior palace official given the title of secret keeper, which allowed him to perform special religious rituals. Elsewhere, rebel police officers rioted in Haiti's capital Port-au-Prince yesterday in protest at the killing of more than a dozen colleagues by criminal gangs. The rioting officers blamed the government for not taking action. More than 100 demonstrators blocked streets, burned tires, broke security cameras, and damaged vehicles. Local media said several police officers broke through the gates of the Prime Minister's residence and attempted to enter Haiti's international airport. The National Union of Haitian Police Officers say 14 men have been killed since the start of the year in various gang attacks on police stations. And in the United States, President Joe Biden is urging protests in Tennessee to remain peaceful as officials plan to release video of an arrest that led to a motorist's death. 5 Memphis police officers have been fired and are facing murder charges after Tyranny Coles, who is age 29, died 3 days after a traffic stop on the 7th of January. Body cam footage of the encounter is expected to be released this evening. Lawyers for Nicole's family said it will show him being severely beaten. In the Middle East, 9 Palestinians have been killed during an Israeli military raid in the occupied West Bank, the deadliest in years, according to Palestinian officials. A woman aged 61 was reported among the dead in the flashpoint town of Jenin. The Israeli military has said its troops went to arrest Islamic Jihad terror operatives planning major attacks. The Palestinian presidency accused Israel of a massacre and later announced it had ended coordination with Israel on security matters. A 10th Palestinian was meanwhile shot and killed during a confrontation with Israeli troops in the town of Al-Ram near Jerusalem as residents protested against the Jenin raid, according to Palestinian officials. About science, it's over that a biggish asteroid passed by Earth a short while ago. About the size of a minibus, the space rock known as 2023 BU whipped over the southern tip of South America just before midnight. With a closest approach of 3,600 kilometers, it counts as a close shave. It illustrates how there are still asteroids of significant size lurking near Earth that remain to be detected. This was only picked up last weekend by amateur astronomer who operates from Nauchi in Crimea, the peninsula that Russia seized from Ukraine in 2014. And finally, Czech voters are going to the polls today to elect a successor to President Milos Zeman, whose second term ends in March. The second round runoff between former Prime Minister Andrej Babis and retired NATO General Petr Pavel is portrayed as a contest between populist oligarchy and liberal democracy. Mr. Pavel appears to have been a commanding lead over Mr. Babis. The contest has been marked by disinformation and even death threats. In the Czech Republic, the role of president is a mostly ceremonial but still highly influential post. Well, that brings us to the end of this morning's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you that tomorrow is Saturday. We are having the Back to School edition. Pastors Robert Kayanja Senior and Robert Kayanja Junior will be present, anointing and praying for all those that will be going back to school. Bring your children, come if you're going back to school, and go with the presence of God upon your life. None of what is happening to the other children will happen to you. Come ready to receive from God. Come ready to eat. Come ready to encounter the presence of God. Gates open at exactly midday here at the Miracle Center Cathedral, and you'll be tremendously blessed. There is going to be great praise and worship, great anointing sessions, great time in the presence of God, deliverance sessions as our children go back to school, and we believe God for the best this year. I also remind you that we are still helping the people of Karamoja. Join us by sending your seed to the numbers that will be available during the services. And also, you can come to the Miracle Center Cathedral and bring your seed, hand it over to Pastor Robert Kayanja. He will pray for your blessing, and your life will not remain the same again. Pastors Now program is up next with great testimonies of people who have been tremendously blessed, healing testimonies that have happened here at the Miracle Center Cathedral during the services. Stay tuned to Channel 44. God bless you.